Welcome back to another episode of Thanks for the Consult. As always, I'm Fiore, and we have Aaron.
Hey,
Yep. Hey, Aaron, how's it going?
man,
Yes, sir. The one, the only.
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm all right. As you folks may have noticed, you've got the two of us today, which is a rare treat or punishment, not sure. But we would like to get some input from you guys to help us with a debate we've been having for several days regarding EMS uniforms. I am pro traditional uniforms, and Aaron, you are pro.
I like the t-shirt, like the fire style.
Uh, so my middle ground on the debate is like polo shirts, which have become like a pretty normal thing where I'm at. But yeah, I'm a big fan of a more professional look, not a casual look.
I feel like that's a false dichotomy there to say that like a polo is a more professional look like than a t-shirt. I just think is not true. I think you're setting up a straw man, and I don't like that. I believe that a t-shirt gives a more wholesome, welcoming, relatable feeling. People are familiar with their local volunteer fire department and the people that are part of it, and it feels very wholesome and they enjoy it. And so I think that they really enjoy the wholesome nature that a t-shirt, and it's not just like, a bad t-shirt. It's a nice
Uh-huh.
t-shirt with a good
Uh-huh.
emblem on it.
Huh. Okay. How many times can you say wholesome in one sentence?
Probably at least 5 more. But
Yeah,
I
there's
really
a
wanna
lot.
drive home that's what it's about. It's that small town, wholesome rural community, wholesome feel wholesome.
So my understanding is you believe t-shirts project wholesome small town morals.
Yeah. Also, I think
Uh,
polos say, like, "We wanted to be professional, but we didn't have enough."
Where I kind of disagree. I think t-shirts say we don't want to be professional. We want to wear t-shirts, you
I
know?
mean, why?
Well, when you call the cops, would you like them to be in t-shirts?
When I have a medical emergency, I don't want people like the cops.
Why?
Because I'm having a medical emergency, I don't wanna worry about getting shot.
It seems like a
Shout out to all our first responders and law enforcement out there.
wow. That seems like a clown shoes
No, but, like,
proposition.
in today's climate, like, a lot of people, whether from cities or in the rural area, are, like, kinda that there is a stigma that people are not a big fan of law enforcement, whether that's justified or not, that is how people feel, and whenever you show up to their home looking like that, they are more reserved, like, I think they're just a little bit more suspect about it. Whereas a t-shirt says, "Hey, I'm not up to something. You could shoot me in my chest right now," you know?
100% disagree. 100%. So, and I'll preface this by saying I do know some good providers that work in a service that they wear t-shirts. I've worked in services that I've worn t-shirts, but I feel like a uniform shirt, I in an ideal world, like a button-down uniform shirt, with the badge, the nameplate, the whole thing kind of projects a little more, professionalism, a little more, anybody can go to buy a t-shirt, right?
Not with our emblem on it. It's a pretty cool emblem.
I promise you, send me a picture of your shirt. I can get one in under a week. You know what I mean? Somebody
Anybody
will
can
screen
buy
print
a
that.
polo or a job shirt too. They're easily as obtainable as a t-shirt.
Yeah, but they have the service patch on it. They have a badge. They have a nameplate. Like it's a lot more of a pain and a financial investment to imitate that uniform. And I'm not saying that people are out there imitating us, but it just subconsciously, I think it projects a more professional, like I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
I think it projects a more removed sense of like, we're not the same. I have this job and you're this person, but like whenever I just have
Hmm.
a t-shirt on, it's like, hey, we're the
Hmm.
same, you know?
Yeah, no, see, I want my medical professionals to be better than me
I
at
wanna I
medicine.
wanna feel related to while you're saving my life. That's important to me.
I just want you to save my life and be good at it. I don't wanna be your
Well,
buddy.
wearing a t-shirt doesn't preclude you from being in fact, one might argue that you would have more time to do training and invest in other things if you didn't have to spend that money on all the extra accoutrements that go with a full uniform, and the amount of time it takes to put it on.
Sure. How long do you think it takes me to put my uniform on? And
How do you feel about backwards hats?
dude, I hate them. I think
Dude,
they are the most unprofessional thing in EMS.
what if it says EMS on it?
It's worse. It's not it's not like a frat boy hangout. It's you're in a profession, a
What if I told you
professional.
that my preferred look at work is to wear a t-shirt with our service patch on it and a backwards hat?
Would want to come drive 2 hours to smack you in the head is what I would
Hmm.
want to do. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's what I do.
Yeah. It's awful, dude. You step it up. You're
Although
better
since
than
I
that.
embrace the bald, I don't wear the back.
Yeah. I mean, like I've
I
got
also
a
wear
buddy.
sneakers.
Yeah. I hate that for you. And for,
It's never once been a problem.
again, you don't have to take your boots off in a hurry, right? So like the reason most fire departments allow t-shirts and tennis shoes now is because they have to put on their fire gear, so they have to kick their shoes off quick, put on their boots, and then and B, going into a hot environment with extra layers on. It plus if you've ever worn a uniform shirt under a bunker gear and then done any actual manual labor in it, that shirt's wrinkled and disgusting by the end of it. Whereas a t-shirt, you can come out looking half decent or just change the t-shirt. But in EMS, so it's like we're supposed to be like the brainiacs of public safety, right? We're the smart kids.
Nobody has ever said that.
Oh yeah. No,
Nobody
we're
has
the
ever looked
smart
at
kids.
EMS and goes, these guys know what they're doing.
Because you're wearing t-shirts and backwards hats and
No,
sneakers.
no, it's not that. It's that they've just seen the people that walk into the houses and they're like, this. I don't think anyone has looked at the EMS and gone, this guy's got a lot going for him.
See, I feel like when you're wearing like a uniform, people see you walk in, they're like, oh,
They,
this guy knows what's
no, they
up.
say, who's this schmuck who's trying to make himself look smarter in this fancy uniform?
They do not say that.
They
I
see right
assure you.
through it. They see right through it.
I mean, you do have to be able to back up the uniform, right? You have to be able to actually provide high level medical care. But it puts your patients at ease. I'm telling you, I'll find them for you. But since you sprung this debate on me, literally moments before we started recording, I don't have like the references, but I assure you there are studies that show. We'll do a quick Google. I'm sure I can
Whatever
studies.
research study you find for me that says that like t-shirts are not as professional is a ridiculous study.
Yeah, well, you can't just say like studies show uniforms affect patient outcomes by influencing trust, comfort, and anxiety.
I do have a uniform. It's just a t-shirt uniform.
It's not a uniform.
You know
It's a
what
t-shirt.
uniform means? Literally the same. We all wear the same attire. It's just not a dress button-up shirt.
Uniforms affect patient outcomes in EMS.
See, that's
Building
a
trust.
tainted search result, though. You're searching for the affirmative. Tell me why professional uniforms are the best.
Studies showing if professional uniforms affect patient health. Okay, I'll put this up here so you can see that. You read along with me, right? So, studies directly linking uniforms to patient outcome are limited, but research suggests that professional uniforms can positively affect patient perceptions by increasing trust and confidence in healthcare providers.
Yeah, I mean, what is a professional uniform? This is also just like an AI summary trying to reach for whatever version of a research article could possibly be. Also, like, have you seen my arms in a t-shirt? I look shredded. Polo? They're not going to hug my arms the same way.
A professional EMS uniform typically consists of a dark colored polo or button down shirt with agency patches and a name tag and a durable dark cargo pant.
Why don't you ask ChatGPT this? Can a t-shirt be professional?
Yeah, so there's no suggesting that can a t-shirt be professional when styled? Hold on. This is in EMS.
I love that the first result is a Reddit search.
Yeah. A standard EMS t-shirt is generally not considered professional attire for public facing calls.
Right, because of stigma. It's just people don't understand that it's
Yeah, you
the best thing
can't
to
you
do.
can't just say I've been proven wrong, so I reject the premise. Like, no, you're wrong.
No,
You can
this is ChatGPT
listen.
just reaching. We don't know. We don't even know where it's getting. You didn't even verify the resource or the source information.
Listen, you can just say,
Hey, so
I
I had a
prefer
bad
to wear
call
a
the other day,
t-shirt.
and I wanted to talk to you about it. Let's talk about bad calls because nobody ever wants to talk about their bad calls.
Gas.
So I was on a cardiac arrest the other day. It was like 6 something in the morning.
Okay.
And when I tell you everything that could have gone wrong in this cardiac arrest, in fact, did go wrong, I am not, like, exaggerating. Other than, like,
Maybe if you weren't wearing a t-shirt and instead were wearing a uniform.
okay, we've moved on. So,
You've
other
moved
than
on.
me, like, spontaneously combusting and, like, losing, like, the few remaining hairs I have left, like, there wasn't
Mhm,
much else that could have gone wrong. So, we get a call for a cardiac arrest. It's, like, 5 minutes from the station. Um, you know, zoomy up the road, stop. That's what sound the ambulance
mhm.
makes when you park it. We
Interesting.
go into this residence. It was disgusting. Poop
Yeah.
everywhere. Spider
Literal
webs.
poo,
What's that?
like literal feces.
Yeah. Well, what
Like
else would I mean?
human, animals,
Probably both. There was at least 10 to 15 cats and 2 to 3 dogs. And like there was
like big.
spider webs on the ceiling
Ugh.
that almost looked decorative. You know how like at Halloween they do like the
Mhm.
decorative spider web? Like it was that bad that it looked decorative. That's how many spider webs there were. Yeah, I don't understand how people lived in this home. But I guess it was witnessed. There was a rather large rotund man as the patient,
Larger
and
than me.
yes, significant.
Huh?
Um,
It's pretty
he had
big.
to be he had to be pushing 400 at least. But apparently his girlfriend, I don't know what they are. They have different last names, so
Yeah.
they got up in the morning. He's had cellulitis, but like otherwise it's been okay. He
Okay.
messes with her like as she walks back from the bathroom, like grabs onto her arm. I guess it's a joke they do all the time. So she's like telling me this as if it's a normal thing, like normal morning, nothing was weird. And then all of a sudden, like laying in bed, he just like stops breathing, doing the agonal breathing situation. Somehow
Mhm,
she manages to get him on the ground and starts doing CPR, and we get there. Okay. Now the part where things didn't work out.
mhm.
So we get into the house. There's like no room to work, which like that's common on a cardiac arrest, you know? So like
Oh, yeah.
makes it less than ideal though. We
Rule of threes. 3 a.m., third floor, 300 pounds.
yeah. Well as our former guest Ed had stated, you know, the sicker you are and the larger you are, the more likely
The
you are to be
higher
higher
up
up in
you
a
go.
building. So yeah, we put the monitor and stuff on and I see VFib. I'm like, that makes sense. And she witnessed it. You know, we get there no longer than 10 minutes between, you know, time of it occurring, her calling 911 and us getting the call, getting there. You know, couldn't have been more than 10. So I shocked that John. I'm like, all right, I'm doing my job. We're, you know, doing the CPR thing. The
Mhm,
BVM, go to get the BVM out. It's collapsed. Like will not expand. We're like, well, that's a problem. I have an AMT and an EMT with me, and the fire department's on their way. AMT's working on, you know, doing a tibial IO, which she
mhm,
cannot get to go in. And it's not
mhm.
of her own fault. We have those SAM IO ones that just not a robust needle. Not a fan. The more I use them, just they break a lot. They
Which I remember you arguing with me over why they're the best thing ever.
no, I never said they were the best thing ever.
Oh,
I
man.
said that I thought that they like weren't complete garbage, like they've worked. Yeah, I mean, I think the Easy IO is for sure like the best
Hmm.
IO mechanism. I've never said that. Why are you gaslighting me right now?
I feel
That's my
like
job.
you're so forgiving to the Sam IO even when it doesn't work. But you've had one self-occluding IV catheter
No,
fail
no,
on
no.
you, and you're like, "Nope, they're
Many
done
I've had
forever."
many self-occluding IV catheters fail on me. I would say upwards of 5.
User error. Go on.
Okay. So, you know, Allison's her name. She wouldn't mind me sharing. Allison, the AMT, is trying to, you know, do this IO, and the poor girl cannot get it to go in. I said, all right, well, why don't we switch? You come help figure out what's going on with this airway situation. You know, we need to go out to our truck, apparently, because our BVM is not functioning. So we need backup equipment. Why don't you take care of that? I'm going to work on it. Dude, I swear, I sat there and I did consider IV access. And I looked at this guy and I was like, not happening. Like, I'm gonna spend way too much time trying to find an IV on him. Yeah, but, like, he was just so rotund. I don't even know if I coulda, like, found it. Like, I woulda had to, like I know what you're saying. I get it. I just don't know that it woulda I don't stop it. I don't like it.
I'm itchy.
Yeah, right. So, I was like, "You know what? Let's try another IO. Maybe it's this IO needle." Dude, could not get it to go in. Like, I'm sitting there trying to crank and push, and it was not working. I probably sat there and did that for a minute and a half, 2.5 minutes. Then I could not remove the actual like needle portion to just have the catheter part in. I, tried pulling, tried pulling, tried pulling. That probably took another minute and a half. And I'm not dumb. Like I've used these needles like a decent number of times. It's much easier to separate it than how that was happening. I don't know what was wrong with that needle, and what was wrong with the other one potentially too. I don't know. But so that didn't work. The BVM didn't work. Allison comes back and goes, "Hey, the ambulance is completely locked. Like all sides of the ambulance are locked. The front of the cab, every compartment door, even like it's the only unit we have, as far as I know, that pressing the lock button locks all of the outside compartments too. Like completely shut out of this unit.
That's
Um,
insane, by
so
the way.
fortunately, we're really close to the station. So fire gets on scene and she's like, "I'm gonna have the fire department run me back to the station to get another unit and bring it up." Okay, we're gonna keep doing this thing. So we're doing it, and what was crazy is we had an initial rhythm of VFib, which we shocked, and every rhythm check after that, flat asystole. I know what you're thinking. Every medic out there that's listening to this is going, "Well, did you have VFib the first time?" Yes, I did. It was VFib, and I shocked it. I shocked it good.
So, how much time passed before you got IV or IO access?
Probably like total into the arrest, or just like from the moment I started.
From defib to first epi, how much time?
Probably 5 to 6 minutes. Yeah, way longer than I wanted it to be,
Yeah.
but it is what it was. Tried our best. I also, didn't have access to other equipment to get more IV stuff or try to do other things because the truck was locked. So then Allison comes
That's
back with the truck.
wha-
Yeah, she comes back with the truck, brings another BVM. You wouldn't believe it. Guess what doesn't expand?
what like what is happening to your
I
BVM?
I
Like
think they're
you
getting
like you
crushed.
pull them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think they're getting crushed or something, and like I don't know,
So this is gonna sound like a real dumb guy thing, but like, did anybody try hooking it up to oxygen and pulling it?
like using the cord part.
So you grab where the mask would go on or where it would connect to the tube, and you grab the solid piece at the end and you pull it out, right?
Mhm.
And that wouldn't pull,
I
correct?
believe that was attempted.
So if you hook some oxygen up to it, turn it on, it might blow enough in there to loosen it up that you could pull.
Yeah, I think that was attempted.
Okay, just wondering.
Like I said, this was near
That's
Halloween.
crazy.
Like I think it was just a lot of confounding variables going on here.
How is the proximity to Halloween clinically significant? I'm
If I
confused
have to
by that.
explain it, then you'll never understand.
Okay.
But it's clearly significant.
If you
What
say
else bad
so.
happened?
I don't know.
But yeah, so then I finally, we have the IO access. We're doing our thing. I push some epi. That's like, doing its thing. Get a line of fluid hanging, doing that. Like, it's asystole from there on out. So eventually we ended up, terminating resuscitation per medical command, of course. I tried to do another round of epi, and for whatever reason, one of the epis, it's the ones that like are not pre-assembled, but like are quickly assembled. So it has the two caps you take off, screw it in, push the rest of the way. Whenever I
Mhm.
screwed it in, I went to push it, it started spraying back on my face. I was like, well, that's not what I wanted. So then I like tried to readjust it, kept trying to do it, kept spraying me. I was like, well, maybe there's too much pressure in the line or something. So I was like, maybe let me make sure I'm kinking the line correctly. So I like had somebody else kink it while I did it, sprayed me in the face again, got a whole new epi. We started that part over. Eventually we did get a BVM and we did get a king. I don't know if we ever got to put that in, to be honest with you. Um, I think by that point we were getting ready to call it.
Wow.
Yeah. What
Huh.
else happened? Well, then we had to wait around probably an hour to an hour and 15 minutes for the coroner to get there.
Where's the police?
Oh, they don't do that where we're from. They don't come out.
I don't do that where I'm from.
Yeah. No, I would love to off them.
Yeah. Is it local or do you have state?
Yes, but at that time the local police weren't on.
Oh, because I've dumped them on the local police several times.
Right.
But they're like, oh, you guys staying? No. Have fun. Here's the info. What?
Yeah, no, that doesn't happen out here. I don't know if it's just that there's not enough law enforcement or they just don't care. I don't know, but it's always been our job.
That's crazy because it's the same state police. Like, it's not like it's a different. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're in the same state,
that's true.
same police.
Well done.
So, how is it different?
Well, this is different, bro. I don't know.
Crazy.
I don't make the rules. I just do it.
Yeah. Ah, Right on.
So then we tried calling our boss and our board president. Neither of whom answered their phones, trying to figure out what should we do about this locked unit that we have.
I guess it's good you had to stay. It gives you enough time to figure that out.
Yeah, so me being the sleuthy detective that I am, started snooping around the ambulance looking for one of those like manual unlock buttons because I know that those are sometimes present. Guess what that one didn't have?
One of those.
Yeah. So then we had to call our tow company, and they came down there and did the blood pressure cuff thing, and they did, where they feed the bougie in and then blow the blood pressure cuff or whatever they call those things.
It's called the Big Easy is the name of
Yeah.
that tool.
Well, and he
Mhm.
was kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie. The guy that came down, like no homo, he was kind of hot. I had two female partners. They agreed. He was hot. No, I'm not being weird. Like he just was.
Again, relevance.
It was part of the story.
Oh, okay.
Sorry for sharing. I figured you'd want the details of what happened.
No, I do. I'm so lost right now.
Yeah. Well, so we also apparently we have a wall of spare truck keys. So whenever we did get a hold of the service manager, he was like, "Oh, go check that wall." Well, apparently on that wall, the only key that was missing was the one for that unit. Apparently, there was never a key made for that. I don't know. So we have no backup key for that unit. Yeah. So they
Excellent.
got it unlocked, and then we sat there and waited for the coroner. And then later that day, it locked again. So I figured out what it is. As you are going out the side door to the patient compartment, there is
Mhm.
a giant, like, plastic button where it's like one of those ones that, like, flips. I don't know how to describe it, but it's really easy to bump, especially whenever you're trying to get out of an ambulance with a lot of
Mhm.
supplies. And it locks not only all the doors in the patient compartment, but all the doors up front as well. And then what happens is if you press the unlock button back there, it doesn't unlock the front doors to the front of the ambulance. So it'll lock all of them, but it won't unlock all of them
Is this a newer truck?
when it was made. It's semi new. I would say within the last 10
Yeah.
years for sure.
Yeah. I know place I was at was we were ordering some ambulances and that was a problem. They couldn't get the system to like they put the buttons on them, but it would only unlock the box. So the workaround was they kept a key fob in one of the compartments in the box to open the front of the truck. So if you got locked out, you could hit the button, get into the box, and then you would have to go.
But the compartments on that truck lock too, so that wouldn't even have worked for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, no, they put the button in and that button only unlocked the patient care module. It didn't unlock the
Oh,
cab.
oh,
So
I
then
see.
you would have to get the key fob out of there and then unlock the
Well, so what's
front.
even worse about it is you press that button, it locks all of the doors, right? You
Yeah.
press unlock and it unlocks just the patient compartment doors. Then what happens is after you close the doors to the ambulance like patient compartment section is it relocks automatically because the front doors are locked.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Right. So that almost happened to us again later that shift at like 2 a.m. whenever I had to take a patient to the hospital because the nursing home wouldn't tell the patient that they had terminal cancer and that's why they felt sick. Went to get, I went to go back up front to drive to the hospital and I couldn't get in because it was locked because the same thing happened again. Fortunately, my partner and the patient were in the back of the ambulance, so they were able to unlock it. But
How though? Because it didn't unlock the front.
that time it did.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just out here saying stuff, dude. I'm trying to make sense out of nonsensical things.
Yeah. I mean, you've thoroughly confused me. So I mean,
Yeah,
there's
I was
that.
also very confused. So yeah, sometimes things just don't go well, I guess.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
And then I had a homeless man who got potentially hit by a vehicle who they called it in as a Delta cardiac arrest. And then they were
Hmm.
like, state police has had a ton of interactions with this guy. He's probably sleeping. And then we got there and he was in fact sleeping, like snoring respirations and trauma.
Sleeping the long way.
Yeah. And it was like unknown how long he'd been like laying outside, but like he was actively breathing and was
Somebody knew.
yeah, and he was in V-fib, so I shocked him. And then apparently right now he has like no neurological function, but is on a ventilator in a trauma center. Which it was just crazy to me that the person who was like witnessed arrest, immediate CPR, we got to him, like barely any viability. Someone who was down for who knows how long. There was blood on the ground that was coagulated by him, so clearly some extended period of time.
Sure.
And he's still alive.
I mean, they both have the same neurologic function, it sounds. But I mean, the other guy sounds like he had a lot of comorbidities. So he was severely overweight.
You'd think being homeless would be a comorbidity.
Oh, would.
Yeah.
But I mean,
What's
I
the
don't know.
worst call that you've ever had as far as just like nothing went right?
I backed up a crew that I normally don't back up. I just happened to be in the area, like not in the area, close enough. It was overnight, and they got called to eval one for police, and then so I'm like, whatever, kind of ignore it. And then as soon as they called en route, they're like, police are updating their CPR in progress. I'm like, hey, I'm like 10 minutes away. Do you want me to come? Like, yeah, please. So I jump on there, go down there, and they gave us an update before any of us got there that, hey, they gave the addresses to where the police call started, but never checked if they were still there. So the cops were like 2 blocks down the road. So we get down there and I drive past the crew because they're like wheeling the stretcher down this 2 blocks to get this lady. So I drive past the crew and so I'm the first one with the patient at this point. She is not in cardiac arrest. She is unresponsive, very hypothermic. There's like 3 inches of snow on the roadway. Like it's that active snowstorm type of night. And then so we we get the patient onto the stretcher and it's a brick or cobblestone road. So I was like, can we I was like, while we're getting the patient on the stretcher, I was like, can somebody go pull the ambulance down here so we don't have to like risk dumping the patient? You know what I mean?
Give him shaken baby syndrome on the way to the
Y-
rig.
Yeah, like let's not add friggin' head trauma to their hypothermia, right? So the cop runs down to get the ambulance. And I'm like, what is taking him so long? And the next I look up and he's like running back. He's like, ambulance is locked. I'm like, okay. So I was like, and then I heard another ambulance crew call clear from a hospital. It's literally 3 minutes from there. So like, hey, why don't we have them divert here, put him in there, transport him? That way we're not sitting out in the cold. And they're like, no, we can't do that. Take her down and wheel her into the bar where this all originated. So now we have this unresponsive person on a stretcher in a bar that's still open and people are drinking and like the jukebox is playing and the cops are trying to slim jim the ambulance to get it open. And I'm like, we can't, I was just beside myself. 'Cause I'm like, I don't know what to do. Cause like,
What did you order for a drink?
yeah, right.
Oh, you didn't.
No, I wish I could have. A couple
You could
fingers
have.
is whiskey. Yeah. Wow. Still, I was on the
I
clock.
need
So
something for aseptic technique.
right. I mean, luckily we had my vehicle, which I did not get locked out of. So we had
Put
everything
her in
we
the front
needed
seat.
except a transporting unit. So yeah, long story short, like 15-ish minutes in this bar with everybody just staring at us and like me trying to protect her dignity the best we could, but also not leave her in soaking wet, ice cold clothes. It was terrible. Yeah. Yeah. We got him into the stretch or the ambulance. And I was like, do you guys need anything else? Like, no, you did more than enough for us. I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to drive as far away from your coverage area as possible.
That is significantly less bad than my call.
Yeah. I mean,
All that happened was you got locked out of the unit.
in a snowstorm and we
Right.
took care of a patient in a bar.
But you've been like you're old, and we know this. And like you've been doing this job for way too long to not have a way worse story. I feel like you're holding back on me.
Way worse in what way?
I don't know, like where's the death and the dying, you know? Where's the ambulance sliding into a building, you know? Where is the I accidentally used the wrong side of the EpiPen, you know?
I've not used the wrong side of an EpiPen, thankfully. That would
I
hurt.
know multiple people that have done that.
That's insane. Do
Yeah,
you know
like more
anybody
than
that's done it multiple times?
I don't think I know anybody who's had that happen multiple times, but I know several people. I thought that was way more common. Apparently, it's not. Like, I just
Yeah.
happen to know multiple people who did that.
Huh. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I don't.
Which is ironic
I
because an
don't.
EpiPen is one of the most clearly displayed of all of the medical devices we use as far as
Yeah.
like which end you should like directions are very,
There's a
very specific.
big arrow on them. I mean, just the way it's shaped.
Right. Big
It's
arrow means
you,
put thumb here.
yeah, I guess. No, I mean, I've obviously So I would say one where like everything went wrong. So it was Valentine's Day of 2020, I do believe. And it
Wow,
was an
time and
ice.
date. This is what I was looking for.
Yeah, it was an ice storm, right? So we're on the interstate on an overpass. There's an overturned truck. We pull up on scene. There's this woman who is so intoxicated. I can smell her getting out of the ambulance.
Is she
And
Mexican?
no,
Well, because you
but
said there was gonna be an ice storm.
yeah, right. She is, however, identifying herself as a nurse.
Mm.
So, she's like, I can help. I'm a nurse. I'm like, you can barely stand. Go sit in your car and not on the driver's side. So the fire department gets there, almost slides into the car when they pull on scene, right? And it's just like everything that they should have been doing to extricate this person because the car's overturned. Dude is half in, half out of one of the side windows, but it's crushed down. So like we need to spread literally all we need to do, stabilize the truck, spread the window that he's in just a little bit and slide him out. So they want to get airbags and they're like lifting the truck, but because it's icy, it keeps falling off the airbags. So at one point I go up to the fire chief and I'm like, do you know this guy? He's like, no, why? I was like, has he wronged you in some way? No, why? I was like, because you're fucking killing him. And if you don't stop, I'm going to hurt you. I was like, take your spreaders, put them in the window and open them up and stop when I tell you to stop. So we eventually get him out and
I'm sure he loved that you told him what to do.
he did not.
Were you in fact right?
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
he
So
immediately extricated from the vehicle?
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
So on this call, you had myself, some people that you might know. Sarah was my partner that day, and there was two patients. The second truck we got was from a neighboring service, and it was Caitlin was on the truck. So and her partner. Plus, we had somebody from a response service in that area, and like at one point, Sarah was like, "Hey, I need some bicarb," and you know what like a box of bicarb looks like, right?
Right.
It's pretty hefty size box. He just like whips it out of nowhere. He's like, here you go. Like, where did you get that from? He's
I
like,
always
what?
keep one in my pocket.
Yeah. So it's like,
You
okay, I
never
guess
know
he
when you're gonna be
carries
acidotic.
pocket bicarb. Yeah. Of all the meds to just have on you at any time. Cause he got out of his truck, came to like patient side, never went anywhere near our truck. Like there's no explanation as to like, he didn't have a chance to go get it. You know what I mean? So unless he like heard it was a rollover and was like, maybe somebody's crushed, I should bring some bicarb. You know what I mean? Like I just
I wonder how many
seems
years he's been carrying around bicarb, but just like waiting for that moment where he's like,
dude, I have no idea.
someday somebody's gonna ask me. That actually sounds like something I would do, where I would just like knowingly carry around bicarb for a long time, waiting for the niche circumstance in which somebody's like, I could really use some bicarb, and then I could be like, I've been carrying this around for 20 years.
So apparently on the radio, I sounded pretty pissed off because I was. It was like everybody was just doing the worst possible job they could from the fire side. And like the cops couldn't keep this drunk nurse under control. She kept running up into the way. It was like a whole thing. So we get to the hospital, push the patient in, do the trauma handoff, the whole 9 yards. I come out and there's two crews from different services, one of which was Shaler Hampton. And they're like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, why? They're like, you sounded real frazzled on the radio. I was like, frazzled? No. Pissed off? Very much. It's like, so there's that. That was like everything kind of went wrong. And then I had a cardiac arrest again with Sarah.
Finding common denominator here.
Yeah, dude. First off, let me tell you that let me back up. So Valentine's Day of 2020, we worked a 24-hour shift and transported 22 patients.
It's a lot of patience.
Yeah, it was a rough day. Like at one point I fell asleep with the truck in drive sitting in the ambulance bay at St. Margaret's Hospital. Like it was just bad. But anyways, another call we had, cardiac arrest, the guy's at the top of the steps, like he was getting out of the shower, walking to the bedroom, collapses, we work it. Ultimately we terminate it, go down to talk to the woman that was there that called it in. He was wearing a wedding ring. She was wearing a wedding ring. I assumed they were married, which was correct assumption, just not to each other. So I was like, ma'am, I'm sorry, but your husband's dead. That we've tried everything we could, blah, 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 blah. She's like, I should probably call his wife. I was like, how far away does she live? She's like 10 minutes. I'm like, okay. So I like give Sarah the look like, let's go. She like grabs the remainder of the gear that's upstairs, comes down the steps. I'm like, what's up? I'm like, throw it in the truck. We're leaving. So I tell the cops, I'm like, hey, we got we got to be back early tomorrow. You guys cool to wait for, you know, the rest of the family to come? They're like, yeah, that's fine. I was like, all right, cool. His wife should be here in about 10 minutes. Like, wait, what? I was like, see you tomorrow. Bye.
It's
It's just-
crazy. See, I wouldn't have left. I would want to see how that panned out.
no, absolutely not.
What's the worst she gonna do? Is she gonna kill him?
Not him.
Right.
There's a high likelihood of her hurting someone else.
Right. Maybe she should have just like left. Yeah. She should have been the one to left, not you guys.
It was her house.
I see. Yeah. Did you ever follow up later on?
On how dead he was. He was still
No,
dead
just
to this
like
day.
find out like, hey, did you guys reconcile your differences?
Not with the patient. The cops said it was a very, you could cut the tension with a knife, kind of wasn't, it was a palpable
At that
tension.
point, it's like, do you guys just become best friends?
I don't think so.
It's like, hey, listen, we had one thing in common that was gonna, put a barrier between us, and now that's gone.
Yeah, no.
The only option left at that point is friendship.
I don't think that's how that works.
How you
could
want to
be
be
wrong.
friends with the people that, your husband was cheating on you with?
No,
That's never been something that you felt.
no. I mean,
Hmm.
well, I've never had a husband either.
That's
So,
fair. Yeah.
yeah.
Me neither.
Uh,
But that guy from the towing company, I swear.
he could be your next,
He could be
your
it, dude.
husband.
He's hot.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude. He's
Is that the
hot.
future Mr. Aaron Andrews?
It might be. No, and we wouldn't even be gay about it. We would just be like, not that there's anything
Yeah.
wrong with being gay.
Yeah, you'd be in a
know?
non-homosexual marriage. I get it.
Yeah, just
No,
like I would just be like, I love this man.
because he's attractive.
And he was so wholesome. Back to the wholesome thing. He was very wholesome. Define wholesome. Is that what you're about to say?
Yeah. Like what was wholesome
Like
about
if
him?
he were to work for an EMS service, he would wear a t-shirt.
What kind of uniform was he wearing in his tow company?
A t-shirt and jeans.
You're lying. He had a
No, I'm
button
dead
down.
serious. He was the owner's son, and he just like drove up the road quick because he lived like half a mile away. Yeah, good guy.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah,
And
handsome guy.
Does he know that you're in love with him?
I mean, I'm sure he knows he's hot.
Yeah. I mean, we should get him to watch this
I looked for a
episode.
ring. He doesn't have one.
You're in, dude.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other reason he might object.
I'll draft a proposal and I'll send it to his people, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, fair enough, dude. Yeah, absolutely.
I
It
do have
sounds
to
like we a
ask.
game plan.
After my amended comment last week, did we have a
Mhm.
lot of feedback from our listeners, really just appreciating my willingness to apologize and correct the mistake that I had made?
I haven't gone through all of the mountains of letters we've received.
Because I know how much the Thanks for the Consult podcast listeners really love accountability.
Accuracy, for sure.
Right. That is why people listen to us, is for accountability and accuracy.
And finding where all the hot tow truck drivers are.
Right.
Yeah.
Bedford County, baby.
So
where
delivered
they're
on
at.
3 fronts right there, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. No, I'll get back to you on that. I'll be honest, it's been a busy week for me. I haven't been as diligent as I should on going through comments and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they appreciated it. I'll let you know.
Hey,
for
so you want to
sure.
know something crazy?
No.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I'll hear it.
All right, cool. So as previous podcast listeners will know, Taylor is otherwise known as my father. He is my
Mhm.
father, but not biologically. I've just been adopted emotionally into a relationship where he is my father and I'm his son. But he recently celebrated a birthday on November 4th, which is great. Happy birthday to Taylor, shout out. And what's crazy about that is my actual biological father's birthday is November 4th. Shout out Randy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Who would have thought I'd have two dads and they'd both have the same birthday?
Yeah. And when's your mom's birthday?
Tem-
Oh, well,
Shout out Ellen.
can't win them all, I guess.
Yeah.
Be cool if they were all on the same day.
I mean, that would certainly save a lot of birthday cakes.
Sure. Dude, when do you think this tow truck driver's birthday is?
I think he's a Pisces.
That means nothing to me.
It doesn't mean a lot to me either.
Okay, so gotta look this up. Pisces. So between February 19th and March 20th.
Yeah, that tracks
So
for sure. Yeah, yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
The symbol is two fish swimming in opposite directions, representing the internal conflict between reality and fantasy.
I should be a Pisces.
What is your sign there, buddy?
I think I'm a Taurus.
April 2020
Yeah,
by a bull? You're a bull, apparently. You're full
yeah,
bull.
I'm that bull.
Yeah.
Well, you know my proclivity to irrational anger.
What are the
Look up Taurus horoscope. Is that how you say it? Taurus? Is that how it's pronunciated? Taurus? Toro.
what
Toro.
is
That's probably why they say Toro.
maybe
Probably not.
steadfast and loyal is what you are to be.
I'm nothing if not a source of consistency.
You prioritize consistency and reliability in all areas of your life.
Speak it.
Absolutely incorrect.
That's the truth.
This is
Name
this
one
is
time that I've lacked consistency. Name one. See?
I can't call you out on all of your private BS on the podcast.
Well, I mean, but if that's who I am as a person, then there should be publicly available BS that you could call me out on. But you're failing to find that information, which makes me think that I am just a reliable person and consistent.
You adore a good gift, being able to hold and experience something special that was selected just for you. You value quality in something handcrafted and appreciate little indulgences as an expression of care.
What would be a little one? Chocolate
I
covered
don't-
strawberries.
Sure.
I had some of those last weekend. They were pretty good. I made them myself.
Nice.
Yeah.
Your weakness, you're stubborn, possessive, and resistant to change.
Do you think that describes me? Is that sarcasm? Okay.
Do Tauruses fall in love easily? No, they don't. They're slow to fall in love because they seek stability, security, and loyalty in a
Why are you
relationship.
laughing?
While they can
Why are you
form
laughing, Fiore?
quick and deep emotional attachments to those they feel secure with, their love is characterized by a slow and steady buildup rather than an instant spark.
I don't know why. I definitely did
What?
not tell you about a girl that I met that I was like, it's love at first sight. That did not happen.
Yeah, okay. So what melts your heart, you might ask? Venus? I don't believe it. That's probably another
Dude,
sign.
you know
I'd imagine.
that bright light in the sky that follows the sun?
Maybe they mean Venus cannulation.
Or maybe they mean Venus like Venus and Serena.
Maybe.
I love
Does
women's
not
tennis.
specify. Taurus is ruled by Venus. So for them, beauty and pleasure take precedence.
That just makes me sound like a horrible, like,
To win Aaron's heart, you must respond to what he loves.
this sounds like sexual fiendry.
Cook a delightful meal for him. Smell like a nice perfume. Or take him to a breathtakingly beautiful natural environment.
Okay, can I say something?
Yeah.
Who would not enjoy those things? Like, you know, it's like, is there people out there going, you know what? I do not want to see a nice view, and I hope you smell horrible. Like who doesn't hear that and go, oh yeah, that'd be nice.
Fair. Would you like to know how you flirt? Through your senses, using subtle touches, compliments, and a warm, deep tone of voice.
That's how I flirt. I just sniff them. Just go up to their head and I just sniff them. You smell like my girlfriend.
Would you like to know if Aaron likes to cuddle? Why, yes. Generally, he loves to
do.
cuddle.
I do like to cuddle. That is true. I'm a big cuddler.
What do Tauruses like to do in bed? A
Cuddle.
slow, passionate, and comfortable sexual experience, enjoying extended foreplay, intimate touches, and a focus on the senses.
You're blushing right now.
This is hilarious.
You're blushing.
Ooh, do Tauruses prefer day or night? Though Tauruses love sleep, they also enjoy peaceful mornings. They wake up early if it means they can enjoy a quiet cup of tea or a breakfast without rushing. Their
That's
mornings
completely
are
untrue.
slow but comforting.
No, my mornings are panic stricken. Every day I set 5 alarms at minimum, and then I wake up to the first one every time, and then I got 4 more, and then I wait till the emergency alarm, which is like if you don't get up and sprint out the door, you are going to be late for whatever it is you're going to. I always forget something. I never eat. Like, I like to start my day with the absolute most anxiety possible.
Which is odd because according to the Google, you're most likely to cry due to a threat to your sense of security, stability, or comfort, such as a sudden change in your routine or a betrayal.
Is Google telling me I'm autistic?
No, it's telling you that
It's like, "Hey, you hate changes in your routine, and that'll make you have a melt."
that is fair.
Yeah.
But you start your day off by having no stability whatsoever. Just because you routinely have chaos, chaos cannot be a routine.
Why not?
But in case any of you were wondering if Aaron likes a massage, he does.
I do
The
not.
sign of the bull would love to sink deep, or I'm sorry, into a deep herbal heat therapy enhancement that stimulates the senses and relaxes his muscles.
Yeah, when I think of bowl, I think of soft, relaxing massages.
Well, that's your sign is the bull.
Right. So, I will say I'm actually quite ticklish, and some massages have never worked out well for me because I'm like, I can't do it.
All right. So here's the top 5 facts about the zodiac sign Taurus. It's one of the most grounded signs of the zodiac. Tauruses have a very strong memory. They rarely talk about personal things unless they're extremely comfortable with you. I don't know. You tell me personal things that,
You know very well I'm extremely
yeah.
comfortable with you.
Yeah. They have tons of patience, but once they run out of it, it can be pretty explosive. I would say you are more of like a dreamer than a grounded person, and your memory is garbage. We could have a conversation and in 10 minutes. I'm like, hey, what was that one very important thing I asked you to remember? You'd be like, I don't know. You know?
But I could tell you a lot of other parts of that conversation that did not matter at all.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel like this
Uh-huh.
doesn't describe me at all. So, did you know the astrological signs are, like, completely inaccurate? Not because of, like, whether you believe in it astrology or not, but just because of the dates and the times, like, that they correlated it to are inaccurate because of the wobble effect of the Earth.
I'll be honest, I never thought they were accurate in the first place.
Right, but, like, even if you believed that they were, they're not even, like, the actual dates that you would think. Because right, they were based off of, like, the alignment of stars, right? And so
Sure.
that's why there's the dates, and you would say, "Oh, well, these stars would be in this place at this time," and you could see them and all that, you know? But whenever astrology would have been, beginning historically, due to the wobble effect of the Earth, which it doesn't spin perfectly on the point, there's a little bit of this drawn, right? It actually, like, affects the time of the year that stars would have been visible in certain locations, and so it's not even accurate to
Hmm.
what they say it's accurate for.
Well, how about that?
Yeah, but I
Fair
do
enough.
love to cuddle. That's true. It got me on that. I do love to cuddle. So if that toe guy out there is listening, I'm a
He's a
cuddler.
cuddler. Bring him some homemade chocolate strawberries and your best cuddling outfit, and you're good to go.
Yeah. But if there's a cardiac arrest, do not count on me.
Mm.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, yeah. So I guess today's episode has been brought to you by trauma dumping and a highly inaccurate astrological signs.
Trauma dumping and
So
horoscope sounds like a great name for the episode.
yeah, it shall be so. Thank you guys for hanging out with us again this week. Aaron, any final thoughts before we go?
I am going to start my own horoscope writing business. So if you would,
Excellent.
yeah, if you would like to receive your horoscope in your email, please email your request to thanksfortheconsult@gmail.com, and I will be
Absolutely not.
and I will be replying with your horoscope. Um, yeah.
Yeah, no. What he meant to say was comment that on a video or something
Thanks
because
for
he
the
does,
consult at gmail dot.
and I will forward it on to Aaron. Well, hey, thanks for the consult, Aaron, and thank you guys for hanging out with us. But if you want your horoscope by Aaron or to be on an episode, please reach out. Thanks for the consult at gmail.com.